analyst. So I do fraud analytics for banks, right? Personal contracts with debit cards and things of that nature.
Baw'dhead.
Mr. Blaze, if I was hosting a trip and I came to you and said, Mr. Blaze, give me all of your personal information, your ID, your bank card, or whatever the case may be, would that not flag you? I'll be like, what you looking for my information for? What do you need that for?
Okay, so for one, my wife is a travel agent, right?
Hmm.
Now, there are specific ways you can pay for a trip without giving up your bank information. Now, I do know you do have to give them your name so they can reserve your trip. But there are
Correct.
certain avenues where they won't even get to see your banking information. I
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
how
saying.
FOE runs it. I don't know. I believe it
If
was
if
Glam and
anyone,
Duffy who I mean Miss Glam that who's the travel agent who handles all of that. So I don't know
listen,
how their process works.
okay. So in no way, shape, form, or fashion does it work that way. Think about your wife and even in that situation. But I also want to bring to uh, the fact that if it happened the first time, right?
Hmm.
Shame on me. If it happened the second time, shame on you. The third time, come on now.
I get that, but that doesn't mean it
Who
makes it
does
right,
that?
right? So
No, it
I,
doesn't make it right. But who would sit there and allow something to reoccur like that multiple times? And one other thing I want to ask is, who don't know how much they rent is?
that's a question I did ask. I was like, how do you don't know how much your rent is?
What?
You paid every month. But that's a minute point. I'm not even gonna go down that road.
Well,
My thing is this. Again, there are avenues where if you're dealing with a travel agent where they don't even get to see any of your credit card information.
correct.
So I'm not sure
And
what Glam and
I've
Duff. I mean,
never
I'm sorry. Go
been
ahead.
in a position where, and I've never been in a position. Listen, I buy tickets to everyone's event. I've never been in a position where I've had to give any of my personal card information to anybody. I've across the app, just across this platform in general, I've donated to a lot of things. And here's another thing.
Hold
I
on one second,
remember.
Miss Rose. Everybody, hold on. My moderators. Do not mute anybody. As long as they are being respectful, don't mute them. No muting, no blocking. They are allowed to have their opinion. If they step out of line with disrespect, that's something different. But don't mute anybody. I'm sorry, Miss Rose. Go ahead.
My other thing is this: I've donated across the app, the platform, plenty of times to children whatsoever. It's always a dedicated website for that, where you would enter your information in so you can make that donation personally. So I don't think in any instance no one had access to anyone's personal information, and that's just my stance on the situation, and that's just what it is.
Okay.
Um,
Hold on one
I
second, Miss Rose. Miss Stanford. Again, somebody calling somebody a liar, that's their opinion. That's an opinion
right,
based thing.
and it
All
don't
right.
bother
That's
me.
not disrespect. Let's not mute people for that.
Yeah,
Go
it
ahead, Miss
don't
Rose.
bother me, Miss Sanford. I love you. You hear me? But it don't
Yeah, Miss
bother me.
Stanford, one of my
Uh,
best minds.
yeah, that's one of my listen. That's my home. We cool. So yeah,
Hold on, Miss Stanford. Go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Rose. Go ahead, Miss Rose.
I just don't feel like in this instance, I do feel like I don't know what the motive behind this is, or why this is happening. I've sat back and watched for a long time before I even jumped on the panel, so I just don't understand the motive behind what's happening now.
So she said that Miss Nietzsche said that this Miss Jess was pretty close to her and sat on her panels a lot, and they
That's
were pretty
true.
cool.
I was there. I was right
So
there. Hmm.
there shouldn't be it really shouldn't be any motive behind any of this, right? If she
Right.
was friends with her, so
Right.
this bit pretty much caught Miss Nietzsche off guard, and there's been a lot of
Absolutely.
things I've seen that's going on that people are showing true colors that
Yes.
around Miss Nietzsche. Do
Yes.
you agree with that?
I do believe to it in a standpoint, but I don't believe it. So what is being portrayed on the front end is unrealistic, right? We have a group of people who's coming up with, now we've discovered Chat GPT has been used in some of these situations. You know, text messages have come up that wasn't real. We've seen a lot of stuff unfold. A lot of people come out. We even learned that some of the group text messages were altered, right? We discovered that last night. So I just feel like it's a lot of playing, a lot of childish things going on around this app, and it's just very unnecessary because it's a table out here prepared for everyone to eat from, right?
Okay,
It
so
doesn't
you
have to
spoke to the
be
group
like,
chat, right? That I'm
yes.
guessing you talking about the group chat that Braid King released last night. You're saying that wasn't real; it was altered, right? That's what I heard.
Well, he changed the name of the group chat. The chat did happen, but there was nothing facetious in that chat. There was nothing facetious happening in that chat. Nothing whatsoever. It was about, the chat was related to them being lawyers for the Judge Transitor courtroom. So that's what that dialect was. There was nothing malicious said about Nitra, about anyone in that chat. So I'm not even understand why that was presented.
Okay.
It just had FOE, on there, and so I don't understand. Help me understand.
Well, I haven't even got to that segment yet. We definitely gonna
Yeah.
go over that.
So
So let
I'll
me
sit
ask
back
you,
and
how do
listen.
you feel about the page that was made by Braid, the FOE page? How do you feel about that whole fiasco that's going on there?
Let me make this very clear. I've known Braid for a long time, and I know he what he said, what he's aspired to be, and I feel like this is a part of his grand scheme of things, right? This is how, he does, but sometimes he just don't know when to say when, right? So he take it far, I just think right now all parties need to rescind and get back to doing what y'all been doing. Because a lot of this stuff that have came out, this stuff has been turned out to be completely altered, okay, and just not realistic at this point. So I just feel like he had a liking for Miss Nietzsche. That liking turned into, it's a thin line between love and hate, right? We've heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a lot of this stuff has just gone absolutely too far, and somebody needs to know when to say when at this point. Stay over there, and FOE stay over on their side and continue with their content, because Gen X and Gen Z shouldn't even be mixing like this. Like, what is the problem?
So, do you think? Because Miss Nietzsche spoke on the threat that she alleging that Braid gave to her, and that she's going to the police. Do you think it's probably past that point at this point when it came to that? Because Miss Nietzsche said that it's past the point of messiness and entertainment and everything else, with the threat being on her Christmas party and
Right.
people showing up with paint guns. So, basically, I feel like this is all full circle at this moment, because this is the reason her and Kev fell out.
Right. And so hear me out, and not necessarily too, because someone asked him about security shouldn't be like offensive to anyone, because to be honest with you, that's what I would be checking for too. That's just me though. Like, what security detail gonna be there? That's just my life. I don't know how,
Yeah, yeah,
you know
it's not the
so
like not
I
the
don't
same
think that should have
situation,
been,
but it's around the same thing of
yeah,
the
a big
security
deal.
of the party, making sure people
Um
feel safe at this party.
Now, if someone threatened to uh, do harm at something that I'm doing, of course, absolutely. In her position, I would take full action, and I'm not speaking for any parties, but yes, I would say, hey, I'm throwing an event, and someone that's happening in the world for real today, right? This is a real live uh, occurrences that we're witnessing every day before our eyes, so that's not anything to play with.
Right, right.
That's not anything to play with. And that's what I'm saying. When do we toe the line? When is the line gonna be drawn in the sand? As anybody,
basically
Yes.
past mistakes and not try to head down that road, but that's the road it seems like we're heading down. Hey, Drop Queen, did you want to come up and
Hopefully
speak
we
to the
cannot.
situation?
Yes, I did because my name was brought up in it. Everybody understands how
I didn't even remember.
serious.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I must have missed that.
Yeah.
My
Well,
apologies.
Slim came up in. I just saw somebody tagged me in it. I just saw it. Slim came up in the box when they were recapping Cookie and
Oh yeah, I did hear
Braid,
that part.
and yes, and Slim said, "Well, if Drop Queen is Cookie, which everybody
Yeah.
knows by now that
So
I'm
I
not
do
Cookie, so
believe
I'm
that was
very, very
uncalled
upset
for.
about that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very
that was
upset about
uncalled
that."
for. I'm not taking sides here, but what Slim said was kind of out of bounds,
When Nitra
especially
even
with
said
no
she don't
proof.
know who Cookie is, right? But Nitra even said it, so she should have shut him down, in my opinion, and say don't bring that lady up in that because those are serious accusations to make. I'm very fucked up about that. He's dead. He's unalive wrong for bringing my name up in that. Braid just said he was gonna dox me. You think I'm gonna be behind a troll page as being his planner? I don't play like that. If I do something, I'm gonna do it behind my real page. It's gonna be me, and you're gonna know it's me. I don't play that. I don't do that off the app stuff. I don't. Nobody can ever say I've done anything off this app. I don't play like that. I
All right,
don't
so
believe in none
I'll
of
ask
that.
you some so far. I guess Drop. How did you feel about hearing what was said to Nitra with Cookie and Party?
You think it's wrong, Blaze?
Uh, in my eyes, I think it's going too far. Uh, at the end of the
I
day,
think I think taking
that
anything
could be
off
considered
this
as a
app
threat.
goes too far. I think
Yes,
taking anything
yes.
off this app is going too far. Anytime it's taken off this app, me personally think it's gone too far. I don't think. I mean, I don't look at people now. Now, nature has talked about my husband. She's talked about me. She's talked about my daughter. Nitra has literally talked about my daughter and saying, talking about my daughter being a stripper, and that's what my daughter is not. My daughter is a rapper and getting to be pretty successful at it. So to label my daughter a stripper when you know that she's a rapper is foul. But even
I
so, I
understand
do
that.
not believe.
Hold on.
Hold on,
Before we get off
let me
track,
finish saying this
hold on,
because
Drop. I don't want to get off
I'm
track.
making a
I
point
just want
here.
to focus in
You're
on this
not. I'm not getting
situation
off
where we're
track.
talking about people pulling
That's
up
the
to a party with paint
that's
guns.
the point that I'm making, if you allow me to finish.
Go ahead.
So even if she did that to me, I don't think that's enough to take it off the app. That's the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is just words. We can cuss each other out. We can drag each other. We can do all of that. But this threatening people, I just heard that people were texting another lady threatening her. This is crazy. Wishing unalivement on each other and all this shit is stupid. It's stupid to me. So yes, it's wrong. I don't believe in taking nothing off the app, period. Point blank, period. Y'all can talk about lips, y'all can talk about everything. Sticks and stone may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I'm just gonna dig up a joke or a crack to say about you. That's all we got to do. We can roast each other all day, every day, but some of this stuff is just too far. And that's all I have to say. So I don't appreciate being triangulated with something that's going to be taken off this app. I don't appreciate that at all. Slim had no reason to throw my name up in that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like seriously, when I did hear that, it was even just like even without the proof, it's still not a good look because again, nobody
Somebody
has even
asked the
proven
question,
who Cookie is. And to say that
right?
he got more power and all this other stuff in Atlanta and all that other stuff was,
In
I don't think he thought
Houston, right?
really
In
thinking
Houston.
about what he was saying
But
at that point.
somebody said, what about the threats FOE men make? Them too. All of it is wrong and disgusting, especially for men to be doing it. It's disgusting. Free bands. It's disgusting. I don't care what man, woman, boy, or girl who is doing it. It's disgusting to me, and that's just my personal opinion. Somebody's gonna seriously get hurt. And it won't be the first time. We've seen it happen before over social media bullshit, over words. Y'all want to hurt people over words? It's crazy. Y'all want to wish unalive on people over words. I don't play like that. I came up here to have fun. They don't even make it. It can't even be fun no more. It's funny to me sometimes when y'all talk about my lips and all this stuff and call me hip hop Harry. That's funny sometimes. But can we just have fun, clock out, and do it again the next day? Do we have to take it so far that y'all want to wish unaliving or threaten people? It's just crazy. It's disgusting to me. Because when I was doxxed, I didn't find that funny. Ain't nothing you can find out because I don't have no record, but I just didn't appreciate somebody doing that. Your mama cook it, Patricia. Now go eat her, hoe. But let me go, Blaze.
Thank you for coming up, Drop. So we're gonna get back to this clip. Again, I don't know how somebody can get somebody's debit card information off of identity. Now I don't know. I believe Glam is the one who is the travel agent or the event pretty much coordinator. I don't know how they process work. Now, Ms. Rozay did come up and say that they do enter their information, their credit card information through a website. I'm not sure what program they're using, but there are certain programs that they can use through a third party where they don't even get any of that information to receive payments. Now, Ms. Jess said that she had some money taken out of her account and she blames FOE, but not certain people in the FOE, not her close friends like Nitra and the rest of them, but whoever is running the website and how that procedure works, she's putting it on them. So I'm gonna let this interview continue. Hold on, somebody else wants to come up. Oh, I thought somebody was in the box. I'm sorry if I missed your request.
Would you assume or think that would have access to your